Have you ever wondered what it feels like to be the sun? To have someone orbit around your presence, unable to pull away? Today, we crack the code on how to turn the tables and make them chase you. Welcome to the art of detachment, my Stoic friends. In our quest for affection, we often find ourselves on the losing end, chasing, pleading, and disappearing into someone else's storyline. But what if I told you there's a switch you can flip? That by stepping back, you can transform from the chaser to the chased. This isn't about giving up, it's about taking back your power. In today's episode, we dive deep into the Stoic practice of detachment. How can pulling back make them step forward? How does less become more? We'll explore these paradoxes and equip you with the strategies to stop chasing and start attracting. Remember, the absence of your constant attention is a lesson in value they won't easily forget. As we unfold these principles, take a moment to hit that like button if you resonate with reclaiming your independence, and don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom. Ready to see how silence speaks volumes and absence is felt profoundly? Let's get started, and don't forget to comment, "I deserve admiration," as a testament to your newfound outlook. Let the chase begin. Number 1. She sees the change when you step back. Imagine for a moment. You've been the initiator, the planner, the ever-present figure in every scenario. But what if you chose to pause this pattern? What if you allowed the echo of your absence to speak volumes? This is where the journey takes an intriguing turn. By stepping back, you're not fading into the background. You're recalibrating the dynamics in a way that's both subtle and impactful. You're showing that you aren't desperate, that your world isn't tethered to her every move. This shift is where you start to regain control, where the magic of rediscovery begins. Consider the moments in a film when the soundtrack falls silent. Everyone senses that something pivotal is on the brink of happening. That's the power of your withdrawal. She starts to notice the silence, the space, the sudden vacancy of your unwavering attention. And here's the fascinating part. She begins to ponder, why the change? This isn't about playing mind games or manipulating emotions. It's about honoring your self-worth. It's about stepping back from relentlessly pursuing someone who hasn't acknowledged the attention and care you deserve. As the old saying goes, distance makes the heart grow fonder. By pulling back, you're not creating a void. Instead, you're inviting her to experience the absence of what was once readily available, to miss it, to value it. Stepping back means refining your availability. It's not about becoming distant, but about making your presence a choice rather than a given. This could mean responding a bit slower, not always being available at the drop of a hat, and placing greater emphasis on your own interests and pursuits. It's about subtly shifting the focus from her back to you. And the beauty of this approach. When you stop fighting for her attention, she begins to realize how much she's taken it for granted. Isn't there a certain fatigue in always being the one who cares more? The one always extending the hand? When you choose to step back, you're not just giving her room, you're giving yourself space too. Space to breathe, to pursue your own goals, to rediscover what makes you happy. In doing this, not only are you reclaiming your power, but you are also becoming more desirable, more compelling. Reflect on this. The things we chase tend to flee from us, yet those we let go often find their way back. The same principle applies to relationships. By halting the chase, you ignite curiosity and reflection. She begins to notice, to think about you in a new light, to question why your presence isn't as pervasive. That's when the dynamic shifts. The Stoics emphasize the virtue of self-control and the importance of focusing on what we can control. our actions and our responses, not the actions of others. By stepping back, you're practicing this philosophy. You're controlling your own narrative, managing your emotions, and letting go of the urge to dictate the outcome. This act itself is a demonstration of strength and composure. If you're ready to make this shift, to stop vying for attention and start valuing your own peace, declare it below with, "Embrace stepping back." It's more than a statement. It's a commitment to your worth, your autonomy, and the exciting path that lies ahead. And remember, as the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once pointed out, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By stepping back, you're choosing your reaction. You're prioritizing your well-being. And that, my friends, is where true empowerment lies. Now, before we delve into the next step, let's interact. If you have any questions, thoughts, or personal experiences you'd like to share, drop them in the comments below. If this message resonates with you, please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's keep this conversation vibrant and continue our journey of growth together. Number 2, she gets stuck in comparisons while you rise. Let me paint a vivid picture for you. As you gracefully step back, the gap you leave behind becomes impossible for her to ignore. It's like a favorite song she's heard countless times. Suddenly, a key beat goes missing, and the entire rhythm of her life feels out of tune. As she tries to adjust, filling the empty space you once occupied with new faces or fresh relationships, she quickly realizes something isn't quite right. Why? Because no one else brings the same depth, the same energy, or that unique spark that you did. You weren't just a part of her routine. You were the highlight of it. And now, in her attempts to move forward, she starts to look back, realizing how much you truly added to her life. It's a bit like trying to replace a gourmet meal with fast food. Sure, it might be convenient and fill the hunger for a moment, but it doesn't have the same richness, the same satisfaction. You, in this metaphor, were that gourmet experience, memorable, impactful, and hard to forget. Now, everything else is just a temporary fix, leaving her yearning for what she lost. While she's caught in this cycle of comparison, you're not wasting time looking over your shoulder. You're focused on yourself, investing in your growth, pursuing your passions, and evolving every single day into a version of yourself that even you're proud of. You're becoming sharper, more resilient, and more confident with each passing moment. And here's where the real transformation happens. The more she compares her current reality to the one she had with you, the more she realizes how irreplaceable you are. Your absence becomes glaringly obvious, and it's not just the lack of texts or calls, it's the emotional void, the missing support, the encouragement, and the energy that only you could provide. These small comparisons she makes day after day only serve to highlight what she's lost. And as that realization sets in, your value in her eyes starts to skyrocket. She remembers the moments where you were there, always understanding, always listening, and always bringing light into her life. And that light? It's not something she can easily replace. Seneca had it spot on when he said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." While she's consumed by thoughts of what could have been, replaying scenarios in her head, you're fully present in your own reality. You're not wasting energy on what she's thinking or whether she misses you. You're too busy building a life of joy, fulfillment, and success on your own terms. You've shifted your focus entirely to yourself, not as an act of revenge, but as an act of empowerment. You're living in the present, thriving, and turning every day into an opportunity for self-improvement. And here's the thing. While she might be stuck in a loop of what ifs and if only, you're rising above all that. You're making choices that put your happiness and growth first. You're no longer seeking her approval or waiting for her to realize your worth. You've already realized it. You've reclaimed your time and energy and redirected it to the things that truly matter: your passions, your goals, and your self-development. Now ask yourself, who's really winning here? While she's stuck comparing and questioning, you're out there living your best life. You're becoming stronger, more confident, and more self-assured with every passing day. You're no longer defined by her presence or absence in your life. You're defining yourself by your own standards, and that's something she can't take away from you. So, if you're ready to rise above all the noise and step into your power, type "I'm growing stronger" in the comments below. These aren't just words. They're a promise to yourself. A pledge that from now on, you will prioritize your growth, your happiness, and your well-being, regardless of who's paying attention. It's a declaration that you are stepping into the most powerful version of yourself, and that's something no one can ignore. Remember this: while she's caught in her own web of comparisons, missing the light you brought into her life, you're stepping into a brighter, more fulfilling future. You're showing the world and yourself just how unstoppable you are when you focus on your own growth and happiness. And in the end, that's the ultimate victory. Because it's not about winning her back or making her regret her choices. It's about claiming your own life and writing your own story. That's real power, and it's yours for the taking. Number 3. She needs validation while you stay firm. By now, she's undoubtedly started to notice a shift, a void where your constant presence used to be. That once comforting security she felt from having you always around is slipping away, replaced by a growing sense of uncertainty. It's unsettling for her, and she can feel it deeply. The absence of your attention is no longer just a gap. It's becoming a nagging emptiness she can't quite ignore. She may throw out a casual message, perhaps something seemingly innocent or nonchalant, or she might drop hints on social media, hoping to see if you're still watching, still interested. But beneath these small gestures lies something deeper. It's not about reconnection, it's about validation. She's probing for reassurance, trying to confirm that she still matters to you, that your world still revolves around her. This is where things get interesting. You, however, have shifted your focus. You remain unshakably grounded, and you no longer respond to her attempts with the same eagerness or immediacy you once did. Gone are the days of jumping at every text or trying to maintain constant availability. You've made a conscious decision to prioritize yourself, to follow a new path that centers around your own growth and well-being. And you're sticking to it. When you do respond, it's on your own terms. Calm, collected, and without giving too much of yourself away. You're not offering the easy validation she seeks, and that's precisely why your approach is so compelling. This change signals something powerful. Your happiness is no longer dependent on her attention. You're not playing games or being distant for the sake of it. You're genuinely reshaping your life, recentering your focus around what truly matters, yourself. There's something incredibly attractive about that kind of self-assurance. A quiet confidence that says you know your worth, and you won't chase after anyone to prove it. This mindset is deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, which champions self-mastery, inner strength, and resilience. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." By maintaining your composure and staying true to your new course, you are, in essence, mastering yourself. You're showing that no amount of her attempts to draw you back into the same old dynamics will sway you. You're firm, resolute, and focused on your own path, As a result, she begins to realize something crucial. The more grounded and composed you remain, the more evident it becomes that she can't simply drift back into your life without making real, meaningful changes. She comes to understand that to be a part of your life again, she needs to elevate herself, to genuinely respect the new boundaries you've set. And that realization doesn't just make you more appealing, it solidifies your position as someone who is now more desirable than ever. So, if you're ready to fully embrace this empowered mindset, take a stand. Declare it in the comments with, "I hold my ground." This isn't just a statement, it's a commitment to your own growth, to the resilience and unwavering strength that now defines you. You're not passively sitting around, waiting for her attention. You're actively moving forward, confident in your value and your journey. Always remember, staying grounded isn't about creating distance. It's about cultivating self-respect and self-assurance. It's about recognizing your worth and refusing to settle for anything less than what you deserve. And that, my friends, is the key to maintaining control, transforming the dynamic, and ensuring that your life remains on your terms. You've chosen yourself, and in doing so, you've become unstoppable. Number 4, she senses the emptiness and you focus on yourself. Consider this. You decide to step back, and suddenly, her world begins to shift in ways she hadn't anticipated. Here's the truth. When you pull away, her daily rhythm stumbles, as if something vital is now missing. While you were always available, always ready to respond, she may not have fully realized just how much energy and excitement you added to her life. It's like that background music you don't notice until it's gone. You don't think much of it while it's there, but when the tune stops, suddenly everything feels quieter and emptier. Now, as you intentionally pull back, she's left with a void, one where your texts, calls, and vibrant presence used to be. And this silence isn't just about the lack of communication. It's the comfort that's gone, the knowing that you were there, and now that space feels vast and empty to her. At first, she might shrug it off, thinking nothing has really changed. But as the days stretch on, the absence of you becomes impossible to ignore. She starts wondering, why isn't he around anymore? What happened? That small question soon turns into a larger realization. Something important is missing. The connection she had with you. It hits her that your presence wasn't just casual noise. It added real value to her life. But here's the twist. While she's dealing with the emptiness of your absence, you aren't sitting around waiting for her to notice. No, you're using this time to focus on yourself, on your growth, your passions, and your happiness. Maybe you're picking up that hobby you've always wanted to explore, spending quality time with friends, or simply working on becoming the best version of yourself. This time you've taken for yourself is not just time away. It's time well spent, transforming you into a beacon of confidence and positivity. You're becoming more magnetic, more self-assured, and you're investing in what really matters, your own well-being. And think about this. What if, despite your absence, she doesn't even notice that you've stepped back? If that's the case, you've gained something invaluable: clarity. You've learned that perhaps her investment in you wasn't as deep as you thought, and while that may sting, it's a truth worth acknowledging. This realization is a gift because it frees you from false expectations. On the other hand, if she does feel your absence, and she likely will, she will miss the unique energy you brought into her life. Because what you offered was never just about filling time. It was meaningful, and it's irreplaceable. Here's a Stoic principle to carry with you. Focus only on what's within your control, your actions, your emotions, and let go of what isn't. like how she responds. This is exactly what Marcus Aurelius was teaching when he said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." By choosing to invest in yourself and cultivate a mindset of growth and positivity, you're elevating the quality of your own life. So, if you're ready to make yourself the priority, let her grapple with the silence you leave behind and drop a comment below that says, "I make myself a priority." It's more than just a comment. It's your declaration of self-empowerment. You're choosing to step into your own power, to be the best version of yourself, and that's something no one can take away from you. Remember, this journey isn't about what she is losing. It's about what you're gaining. It's about how you're spending your time, reinventing your world, and reclaiming the space you deserve. By doing so, you're setting the stage for her to realize just how much you truly brought to her life. And in the end, that's how you shift the balance of power in your favor, by becoming the architect of your own happiness. Number 5, she discovers the truth and you stay upright. Let's kick this off with a twist of reality that hits like a cold shower. She thought she was heading towards greener pastures, but oh, how she was mistaken. Here's the scoop. That moment of truth crashes down when she realizes, maybe a bit too late, that what she had with you, yes, you, was the real deal. Suddenly, that shiny new alternative she chased doesn't seem so shiny anymore. Picture it. She pulled away, perhaps fluttered towards someone new, or simply let the distance grow, thinking she'd find better, or that she no longer needed to invest in what you both had. At first, she revels in her newfound freedom, intoxicated by what seemed like endless possibilities. But as the days roll by, the excitement fades, revealing the not-so-pretty parts. The talks that now feel like pulling teeth, the connection that's turned shallow, and the warm, reassuring comfort she once found in you. Gone. She begins to weigh and measure, maybe not outright, but in the quiet corners of her mind, it hits her. She's let go of something priceless. Now here's the real kicker. While she's waking up to the reality that the grass on the other side is just spray paint, you've been standing tall. You haven't wasted a single moment waiting for her to catch up. No, you've been on your grind, evolving, focusing on personal growth, and sculpting yourself into the person you're meant to be. You're not glancing over your shoulder, wondering if she'll circle back. You're too busy marching forward, fueled by self-worth. This isn't about puffing up with arrogance. It's about grounding in solid self-respect. You're well aware of what you bring to the table, and you won't sell yourself short just because she missed the memo. Remember, the Stoic sages, like Marcus Aurelius, preach the gospel of self-reliance and strength from within, teaching that true joy is crafted from internal sources, not the fleeting whims of external approval. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, Marcus mused. And by concentrating on your path, your thoughts, and your actions, you're infusing your essence with resilience, confidence, and undiluted self-esteem. So, what's the play when she finally realizes the grass was actually artificial turf and comes knocking? You stand your ground. There's no rushing into open arms or quick forgives. You let her demonstrate she's grown, that she now recognizes your worth, and that she's prepared to work to regain your trust. This is your moment to radiate, to showcase that while she was out there chasing fantasies, you were busy becoming your best self. You've transformed, evolved, and now it's on her to step up. If she's not up to the task, well, you're more than ready to continue forging ahead solo. Always remember, the grass isn't greener on the other side. It flourishes where you care for it. By nurturing your own growth, you've been tending to your garden all along. Now it's time for her to see just how lush and formidable you've become. Number 6. She feels the shift as you stay in control. Have you ever felt the tide shift in your favor? That moment when everything suddenly clicks and you realize that you're no longer the one chasing after things, but instead, everything is coming to you? Well, hold on tight, because we're about to dive into that life-altering moment when the scales finally tip and you take command of your destiny. It's that defining turning point where you realize that you're no longer just a passenger on this journey. You're the captain of your own ship. Here's the truth. There comes a point when she, who thought she had you all figured out, who assumed you'd always be available, always waiting in the wings, begins to sense something different. It's like a subtle, unspoken signal flashes in the air, alerting her that the dynamic has changed. You're no longer waiting for validation, no longer bending over backwards to prove your worth. You've shifted your energy away from her and toward yourself. You're focusing on your growth, chasing your passions, and thriving without her. And here's where the real magic happens. It's at this moment when she feels the tremor beneath her feet. Suddenly, she's the one left fumbling in confusion, wondering if she's lost you for good. She reaches out, starts to question, feels the absence of your attention. And for the first time, she realizes that you're no longer hers to claim. This is your moment, the moment where you take control, not out of spite or revenge, but because you've chosen to lead your own life. You're showing, with quiet confidence, that your happiness is independent of her presence, that your worth was never up for negotiation. This isn't just a shift in the game, it's a complete rewriting of the rules. While she's left dealing with uncertainty, you stand tall, composed, and self-assured. The tables have turned, and now she's the one seeking validation. She's the one hoping you'll throw her a glance while you move forward with grace and purpose. So, ask yourself, are you ready to declare your independence? Drop a comment below with the words, "I have the reins." It's not just a statement. It's a declaration that you've taken charge of your life, that you're writing your own narrative from this moment forward. You've reclaimed your power, and now it's her turn to try and keep up with you. Remember, real power isn't about controlling others. It's about mastering yourself. And you? You're becoming a master of your own life. Keep steering that ship. Number 7. She fears losing you, but you stay unchanged. Imagine this. You've become so indispensable that the very thought of losing you sends tremors through her world. What was once a comfortable dynamic shifts dramatically. The balance of power, which once leaned in her favor, now tilts towards you. She starts to realize something crucial. You are no longer a mere option or a convenient part of her life. Instead, you've become a priority, one that is slipping away right before her eyes. The idea that someone else could cherish you, or even worse, that you've already moved on without her, begins to gnaw at her very core. As she watches from the sidelines, she sees you thriving, living your life with passion, purpose, and undeniable fulfillment. It hits her like a wave of reality. You're not just beyond her physical grasp, you're flourishing in ways she can no longer influence. The sight of you succeeding, seemingly untouched by her absence, fills her with a deep sense of regret and fear. The fear of losing someone as valuable as you, someone she now realizes was a rare gem, ignites a sense of urgency within her. Suddenly, her efforts intensify. Grand gestures, heartfelt confessions, and sweet words flood in, all with the aim of securing her place in your life once again. But here's where the story takes an empowering twist. Despite her sudden surge of emotion and attempts to pull you back, you remain unmoved. You are calm, composed, and unwavering. Her panic and fear no longer hold sway over you. In fact, you stand firm, anchored in the undeniable truth of your self-worth. You don't allow her realization of your value to cloud your judgment or weaken your resolve. Instead, you hold the line, setting clear boundaries. If she truly wants a place by your side, it will no longer be on her terms. It will be on yours. Words and fleeting changes aren't enough. What you seek is consistent, genuine action. Proof that she understands your value, not just in moments of fear, but always. So, if you're ready to claim this strength, to stand tall in the face of her uncertainty and let her confront her own fears, comment below with the phrase, "I'm unwavering." Let it be your bold declaration to the world. You know your worth, and no amount of panic or desperation will sway you. You are steadfast, centered, and fully in control of your path. This is your journey, and you're navigating it with confidence and purpose, setting the rules on your own terms. Number 8. She starts the chase while you set the pace. After weathering the storm of emotions and doubt, she's now stepped forward, fueled by a newfound resolve. The tables have turned, and now it's her turn to pursue you earnestly. But here's where the story takes a compelling twist. You are the one dictating the tempo. Let's set the scene. She's reaching out with those heartfelt messages, trying to plan dates that feel meaningful, and showing up in ways she hadn't before. It's clear she's determined to win back your affection. Yet this time, you're calling the shots. You're not rushing to respond, nor are you reshuffling your plans to fit hers. You're carefully taking your time, allowing her actions to align with her promises. But let's be clear, this isn't about playing games or appearing unattainable. It's about deeply valuing your self-worth and ensuring she recognizes it. You're setting boundaries, actively protecting your energy. You've invested time in growing as a person, and you're not willing to let anyone disrupt the peace you've built without first proving she's truly changed. Drawing wisdom from the Stoics, who taught the importance of self-discipline and personal sovereignty, Epictetus reminds us, "No man is free who is not master of himself." By controlling the pace, you're not just managing the pursuit. You're demonstrating mastery over your emotions and the situation itself. You are the architect of how this chapter unfolds. So here's the real question. Are you ready to steer the course of this journey and let her follow your lead? If so, drop a comment below with, "I lead the way." This isn't just a declaration. It's an affirmation of your control, a reminder that you won't settle for less than what you deserve. Remember, this scenario goes beyond the surface of who chases whom. It's about maintaining your standards and making sure your happiness is the priority. By setting the pace, you're sending a powerful message that if she wants a place in your life again, she has to rise to the level of respect and value that you now demand. This is no longer about being part of her story. She must earn her role in yours. Number 9. She admires your strength as you stand tall. Picture this. After navigating through a whirlwind of emotions, misunderstandings, and countless challenges, her gaze upon you shifts, no longer tinged with doubt or uncertainty, but with a profound sense of genuine respect and admiration. It's at this pivotal moment that she finally comprehends the full extent of your worth. Not just as a romantic partner, but as an individual who embodies strength, independence, and unwavering conviction. You've shown her, through every trial and triumph, that you're not someone easily swayed by external circumstances or fleeting opinions. You stand firm in who you are, grounded in the knowledge of your own value and deservingness. Imagine her awe as she observes how you've handled every obstacle with grace and composure, how you've flourished amidst adversity, and how you've consistently stayed true to your principles and values. She sees the way you've navigated life's storms, not as a victim, but as someone who grows stronger with every challenge. Now, her respect for you extends beyond the superficial boundaries of romantic affection. It evolves into a deep admiration for who you are as a person. She sees you not only as someone to love, but as someone to admire, esteem, and hold in the highest regard. You've become a figure she looks up to, someone who has shown resilience, fortitude, and a steadfast dedication to living authentically. But here's the powerful shift. While her admiration grows, you remain unwavering in your stance. You don't seek validation through her eyes, nor do you need her respect to know your worth. You stand in your power, firmly maintaining the boundaries and standards that have sculpted the person you are today. You demonstrate that while you appreciate her newfound respect, it is not what defines you. You are the author of your own worth, and you refuse to dilute it for anyone's approval or affection. Your sense of value comes from within, not from the admiration of others. This is how you rewrite the narrative of your life. At the beginning, she may have taken you for granted, overlooked the depth of your character, or failed to fully appreciate the person standing before her. But now, she is the one standing in awe, realizing just how much value you bring into every space you occupy. She admires your independence, your resilience, and the way you've stayed true to yourself, no matter the circumstance. Because of this newfound respect, she now sees you in a light she's never seen before, a light that illuminates your strength, confidence, and unshakable sense of self-worth. If you're ready to embrace this powerful shift and claim the respect you've always deserved, let's make it official. Drop a comment below with the phrase, "I hold my head high." By doing so, you're making a bold declaration to the world, a statement that you recognize your worth and refuse to settle for anything less than what you truly deserve. You've proven to her, and more importantly, to yourself, that you are worthy of admiration, respect, and love that aligns with your value. Live your life with unshakable confidence, intention, and purpose, because you are, and always have been, deserving of nothing less than the best. As we close today's journey into the art of detachment, we've uncovered the profound shifts that occur when you prioritize your self-worth and choose to step back. By embracing Stoic principles, you transform from being the chaser to the one who is chased, proving that sometimes the less you give, the more you gain. Remember, real power comes from within. It's about controlling your own narrative and ensuring that your value is recognized on your terms. Now, it's your turn to reflect and engage. How have you experienced these dynamics in your own life? Have you ever felt the shift when you decided to pull back? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. Your insights not only enrich our community, but also help others see the power of self-respect and personal boundaries. If today's content resonated with you, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more empowering discussions. As we continue to explore these transformative principles, your engagement helps guide our journey together. Before you go, take a moment to check out the recommended videos on screen. They're curated to further enhance your understanding and application of the Stoic way of living. Each video is a step towards mastering your emotions and reclaiming your independence. Thank you for joining us today. And remember, in the art of life, you are the master of your own story. Keep writing it with intention and clarity. Like, comment, and continue to be the architect of your happiness. Until next time, embrace your journey with courage and heart.